Hello everyone, this side is Shagat. So as discussed in my previous video, I told you about that in next video I'm going to show that what are the software I'm going to install in my new laptop. This machine has operating system Windows 10 with the Home Edition, and so basically I have selected a few softwares, and this is I'm going to show you that what are those software I'm going to install and how can we do it. It's pretty easy in the Windows, most of the stuffs are there, but I will also tell you what are the usage I'm going to use, I'm going to use for those. The first one is Putty, and the second one is PuttyGen. So the Putty is basically I will use for connecting to my Linux machines or MacBook machines. We can connect to as well because they have SSH. So any SSH server, if you want to connect from your Windows, so you can use Putty, and that is a software for. PuttyGen I'm going to use for converting those PAM file into PPK because I generally use AWS, and in AWS if I launch an EC2 machine, so it will give me the PAM file to for authorization. So that PAM file I have to convert to PPK, and from the Windows machine, this PPK file will be used in the putty, and through that I can able to do SSH to those machines. So the next one is in the list is Virtualbox. So as I told you in my previous video, the Virtualbox, which I heavily use for my POCs environment, it will create the virtual machine in my local system. And this software is really useful if you want to do a lot of POCs and a lot of practices. So it helps to create some kind of environment, POC environment, where you can do the practice as well. To automate the everything, these VirtualBox related, I will use the Vagrant software, and this is from the HashiCorp. If you are a automation guy, infrastructure automation guy, or if you are still if you works on DevOps culture, then HashiCorp you might heard about, and they also have another very famous software called Terraform. So I will use this Vagrant, and this is basically for automating the virtual boxes. Now in this list, next one is Gitbash. This will be used for using a lot of terminals command related to the Git, and this through this I can commit the code from my Windows machine. I can code, push, pull, all those stuff which is related to Git, and I can easily run those Git commands. So if I want to connect to GitHub or GitLab, I will use the Git bash. So it gives the complete feeling of using the terminal, and it is important if you are working in a in a DevOps culture, or if you are an automation guy, or in a Linux systems. I will strongly advise to use only terminals. And yes, you must have some exposures to GUI, but in the backend, it is basically the command or APIs itself. So Git bash will help me to keep me in practice in the Git commands related. The VS Code is the one which I'm going to install today, and this I will use as an IDE, and I will create some files related to some Groovy and some Python, and I can run all these scripts through the VS Code. We can do a lot of stuff from the VS Code, and it is good actually if you want to go for like a Terraform file editing, and if you're going to for Kubernetes, writing those deployment files, stateful sets file, all the stuff, Groovy, Jenkins. So that is a good software which you can use. And yeah, that's all for in today's session. Uh, so let's begin the installation of all these softwares. Hello guys, welcome back. So now we are going to install the softwares. And the first one, as I said, it is a Putty. If you run, just type the Putty command, Putty keyword, Google it, and then here you will see the two sites. You can choose any one, either of the these links. I mostly select this one because this is the actual the author's site. So I think since long back I'm using this Putty, and he's the author, SG Tetham, right? So just click over here. Now you will see this website and go to the download sections, and here latest release. You can, it also has some portables files. I will rather go for this 64-bit x86. So yeah, started downloading. It is already downloaded. It is very light software. Next is I will go for PuttyGen. It is also available here, same. And again, I will download. All right, the two has been downloaded. Now another one, let's Google it, and this is the Virtualbox. I'm first downloading all those softwares which is required. Okay, let's click directly on the downloads. Okay, so because this is Windows machine, I will click on Windows host. This version will come and automatically it is downloading here. Next is Vagrant. Vagrant by HashiCorp. Let's click. So download 64-bit, and it will start downloading. Another one which I talked about, that is a Gitbash. And let me see, this is a Gitbash. I told you GitForWindows. Click here, GitForWindows, download. This will come, and this is a Gitbash. It also comes with Git GUI, but this one is nice to use. And the last one is the vscode from Microsoft itself. And let's download the installer, 64-bit. Yes, so all are downloaded now. I have already downloaded some of the softwares like OBS and other stuff. Let me go there. Okay, 1 2 3 4, these are earlier installation, but this none of the use for the DevOps related and automation related. So let's go to the first one. This is Putty 64-bit. Install. Next, and this is going to install here. If you want to change the path, you can by clicking on this change button. Next. So I don't want to put something on desktop, no shortcuts, so that is fine. Click on install. So yeah, done. Now this is a PuttyGen. If I double click on this, it will directly show this window. So I will copy this and put it on the desktop. Okay, and not it will not install like MSI. Next is the VirtualBox. Let's install VirtualBox. Right click, click on open. If you want to install as an administrator, you can run as, you should select run as administrator. In Windows, installation is very easy, just everything next, and few things item. If you want to change it, you can do and finish. Again, same process, next. And if you want to change, you can change the location of VirtualBox here, and it will create the VM. The VirtualBox is exactly in this path, so it is quite easy. Click on browse and you can find it. Is quite easy thing, you can select. Now come to the next, create start menus. I don't want anything on desktop, no icons, quick launch and all these things. Okay, click next, and yes, if you want to select the shortcuts in desktop, if you want, you should select those, because I generally keep I don't use those shortcuts and generally keep my desktop clean. Okay, so here you have to select install, and it will take a few. So I'm checking this because I don't want immediately the opening of the VirtualBox. Finish. Now is the next one is Gitbash, GitForWindows. Right click, open. Yes, quite easy. Same process. Next, if you want to change this program file location, you can do that. Next, I don't want any other icons on desktop. That is fine. It will work. Check daily for GitForWindows updates. That is fine. I don't need it. If you want, you can check it here. New, add a Gitbash profile to Windows terminal. Not required for me. Click next, and to continue, click next. If you would like to select a different folder, that is fine. It looks okay. If you want to see what exactly they're talking, they're exactly talking this one. So C programs, and the location will be, the Git will be created. Don't create a start menu folder, not required. So use Vim, yeah, for editing. I definitely like to use this Vim. Vim is for file editing. And let's get user default branch name, currently master for the, yes. So let it be, it's fine. And main teams already named. So whatever the branch you will be in, it will go directly there. So now, yes, use Git from Git bash only, Git from command line, also from third-party softwares. Use Git and optional Unix tools from command prompt. So what do you want? You can select, and here the recommendation is this one, this middle section. Click on next, and yes, I need OpenSSL, right? And if it all depends if you what do you want. So for HTTPS OpenSSL I need as in library. Now check out Windows style, commit Unix style ending. Yes, I need this. Next, yes, minimum TTI, that is for terminal things. Default, okay. Git credential manager core, okay. So this will be a Git credential manager for saving passwords, your credentials. Symbolic links requires the, okay, not require. Enable file system caching, next. So most of the things you can go just by default. I don't need anything experimental. Click on next, and this is about to be done. All right, the next one is the vscode. All right, yes, so not required to get this. Finish. Now the last one is, okay, vscode. In Vagrant I have not installed. I will install the Vagrant first now. Click next. Accept the terms. Just read it. I read multiple times. Next, HashiCorp. And this, you should remember this. Where exactly what is the program name is there. Next, install. And quickly the Vagrant will be installed. Okay, so after this we have a last the VS Code. I will just show by opening all these applications how it looks, and in the next video I will start using these softwares. So the next video is coming like any kind of tutorials or any kind of tips and tricks where I'm going to use all this stuff. So I think it will be pretty helpful for the new guys who wants to work in the automation and the DevOps things. Okay, so it looks like it is also about to complete in a while. Installation is about to finish. So there are many things you can install. There's another one like similar to your YAML app in the Linux. There's called a Choco. That software is also very useful if you want to install anything like a Choco code, Choco install code. You can do Choco remove. It is easy to manage those Microsoft related applications or any software through the Choco. The thing is that it should be available in the Choco repository. Chocolatey, actually, the name is exactly chocolatey. Click on finish, and it says you must restart the system for configuration changes, and I don't want right now because one is pending. That is called VS Code user setup, and I will click again on this. Accept the license. Yes, you should at least once you should read this. Anyway, same thing, path with the studio code, and yes, next. Do you want this, all this? No. And I want this one, add open and code action in Windows Explorer context, add open and with add code action to Windows Explorer directory context. So this will help, if I right click on the directory, and it will show the menu. And register code as an editor for supported file types. Okay, leave it for now. Next. It all depends upon your choices, so that's the reason these are unchecked. So nothing very typical or troubling kind of installation in Windows. Just click on finish, and all done. Now I have to restart the machine, and let's go for it, and let's see after the restart of this machine how it looks. Okay, welcome back. uh, After the restart of this machine, this laptop, my son was crying. He got some toothache, so you might have heard in the last cut. Anyway, now he's good. The first is the putty. Let's check the putty. I clicked on this search bar, and here's the putty. Just click, and it looks like this. Here you have to give the host ID, IP address, FQDN, here the port, so on, and yeah, it helps to connect. PuttyGen I have already shown you. Just you have to do the double click and done, and we do the conversion import key from here. I will show everything in upcoming videos according to the type of tutorial if we do. And another one is Virtualbox. Okay, let's go Vagrant first. I will to use the Vagrant. If you type here, nothing will come. Your the downloaded MSI file will appear. This is not the way to use it. To use this is a PowerShell. Open the PowerShell through the command line, and here we go. Vagrant. So you can see the Vagrant. Actually, I was pressing Tab key and how it looks. So you go there and Vagrant up, and another one is Virtualbox. So let's confirm the Virtualbox. I just written virtual and it is enough. Okay, here's the Virtualbox. The version is this. Gitbash. Let's click here. Gitbash. We have a GUI as well. Command line. I generally use this and it looks your terminal like a bash terminal. You can do like this ls-lhrt, right? And you can do the stuff like let me try if I'm not forgotten. No, that's good. So it looks like this, and here git, I just write the git and start pressing the tab, same way like your Linux. And the last one is the vscode. So this is the VS stands for Visual Studio. Click over here. Okay, browse color, that's whatever comes, I will take it as in by default. Yeah, here you can, this is the way it looks. Here you have extensions. You can see the n numbers of extension like Python. You can install Python, C++, and anything, as I said, like even Groovy. You have to just search Groovy, it will come. And when the extension should be available, then you can install it, and that is in their repo. I think I covered all, and yeah, that's all for today. Thanks everybody. Be happy, enjoy the life, keep learning the things from any source of or any media, and keep teaching others as well. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.